Where's the freaking gabagoo? Alright, what we're talking about today are those clothes or just things that you have that you enjoy, but you would never want another human to know about or just witness. And this is more pertaining to clothing. So, you know how most things that you wear are considered an outfit? Today we will be talking about infits. So infits are typically extremely great in their comfort levels, and they feel great. You really enjoy wearing them, but they usually have zero synergy or visual appeal to them. And you don't want other people to see them. It's not something you would wear out, and you feel like you'd be either judged or just really dampened in your attractiveness level if you brought them out in that scenario. So I absolutely bought an infit item today. This was like $13, I think, but it is the softest piece of clothing I've experienced in my entire life. I don't know what in the world is going on with this little neck flap. It's just outrageous to me. The color isn't great. This little stripe on the sides I am not with at all, but I bought it anyway. And honestly, it is way too hot for me to be something that I would regularly wear around the house. But I know my mom will sincerely enjoy it, so once I bought it, I'm like, it's probably better for her anyway. Like, I'm already getting toasty in this thing. And yeah, I did notice, too, that I do look like the frickin' gabagool guy after I did this, too, because it is almost exactly the right color. And if you're wondering what the rest of my infit is, I'm just in boxers, because that's what I would do. I get hot so easily that it's like, I'm going to be walking around in boxers inside my home, if I can. If I do have a t-shirt on, it's going to be extremely soft, probably not visually appealing. More likely, I'm going to be wearing this blue blankie, the absolute greatest thing in my life. Probably will wear this as clothing if I'm wandering around the house in my ideal environment, if we're being honest here. Also, these socks are absurd. Usually a little too warm for me, but if I need them in the wintertime, these are great too. They even got like grippers on the bottom too. Kind of ridiculous. But yeah, those are infits. Just things that you do not want other people to see, but that are pretty nice when you don't have to worry about how you look. I'd love to know if you've got some great infits yourself. Visually, I'd also love to see some infits, either some responses on TikTok, or if you want to swirlay. My Twitter, swirlay, Wippy Thoughts YT. Those would be cool to see some infits as well. Or if you're a master wordsmith, you can do your best to describe them to me. Speaking of, let's move on to our comment of the day. Comment of the day is from Gavin. He said, I meant touching fish when they're slimy right out of the lake and stuff. I love eating fish too. Yeah, Gavin, later on I kind of did suspect that this was maybe what you meant. Sure, they feel like a little bit nasty, but I don't think that they're all that bad to deal with. But overall, not my favorite experience either. Overall, this comment is just kind of a clarification and not doing a whole lot creatively or with Wiplish, so we'll get a low score of 23 out of a bunch of them Dalmatians. For our song of the day, I chose Falling in Love by Dennis Cruson. It's got like a very catchy chorus and then definitely an electronic sound for most of the rest of it, but I think this is a great song and one I would really recommend checking out. Then the video of the day is the Mafia meeting from The Office, where they're talking about the gabagool. Michael tries to order gabagool. Andy pretends to be a mechanic. There's all types of hilarious misunderstandings and just very quotable lines. One of my favorite shows and one of my favorite scenes, maybe entirely from that show, and certainly worth watching, the gabagool reference I was making in the early parts of this video is like a YouTube Thyco, so I didn't really want to include those. It's harder to incorporate into the video of the day playlist. So that's why we went with this gabagool video instead. Where's the freaking gabagool? Huh?